Now I am going to go on a bit of a rant, or maybe a story time. I don't normally do this, but this was a question, a comment from Jake. He says, Bandrew, would you be able to tie in your weight loss journey into one of your shows? You're looking great. Jake, thank you very much for the kind words. It really does mean a lot to me. I have been quite hesitant to discuss this for a number of reasons. First off, it's something that I decided to do for myself. I didn't think anybody would notice. I didn't think anybody would care. Just something that I did for me personally. Secondly, I didn't want to jinx it. I'm not superstitious, but I am a little stitious. Somebody's going to get that reference. And whenever I discuss something that I'm actively working on, I don't know how, I don't know why. Maybe it's something I just self-sabotage, but whenever I discuss it and I'm actively working on it, it just goes up in flames and just crashes and burns. I didn't want that to happen. And third, I'm going to include all the disclaimers. This is not medical advice. I am not a medical advice show. I am not a doctor. I am not authorized to sell stocks. This is not financial advice. All the rapping that they do at the end of the adverts, copy and paste all of that right here. That is why I have not been discussing it, but since you asked, I will fill you in on what I have been doing. I'm not going to tell you how much weight I've lost. It's not insignificant, but I have lost a bit of weight. I started walking in 2020, not to get healthy, not to get physically healthy. It was for mental health, mental well-being, because around that time, I was living a very unhealthy life in terms of work-life balance. I would wake up, walk 10 feet to my work computer, work 8 to 10 hours, then stand up, walk 5 feet to my couch, sit down and watch TV to try to unwind, walk 10 feet to my studio to do a bit more work on YouTube stuff, and there was no separation from work and life. I found myself stressed to the frickin' gills. So I thought, hey, maybe if I have this little bit of a break, this little bit of activity to differentiate life and work. That's what the initial walking was for. I am going to put in my headphones, I am going to listen to an audiobook, I am going to listen to a podcast and unplug for 15, 20, 30 minutes. Then as that progressed, as time went on, I expanded how much I was walking. I jumped up to 2 miles every single day. But this went on for about a year, and I realized, wow, I'm doing more activity than I'm used to, but I am not losing weight. I'm staying the same weight, if not going up. Something funky is going on here. So what I did was I started to log my food. I started to log what I was eating, and boy, oh boy, was that an eye-opener. That was a huge eye-opener to how terribly I was eating. If I had to classify it, I would say I was eating as though a teenager never learned what unhealthy food was, and they were just eating whatever they wanted. Pizza, popcorn, ice cream, candy. A teenager. That is what I was eating like. And I don't need to tell you this, I am not a teenager. I'm not a teenager. Just look at my gray hair. This is not a teenager's head of hair. So I started logging what I was eating, and it opened my eyes. I wanted to change that. I wanted to change my relationship with food. Not only to get healthier, but to make certain foods special. I wanted to appreciate the food that I was eating. I wanted to be less indulgent and less irresponsible. Because that is how my relationship with food was. It was just, I want a pizza, I'm going to have some pizza. I want some popcorn, I'm going to have some popcorn. I survived another week, I'm going to celebrate by eating a Choco Taco. Rest in peace, Choco Tacos. I wanted those food groups, I wanted that food that is delicious to be reserved. If I ate popcorn every single day, every single week, there's nothing special about it. But if you reserve it and only get it when you go to a movie theater, now that's a treat. I'm not going to get root beer every single week. But if I buy it, if I buy a bottle of it when there's a Joe Bob Briggs marathon, then heck, that's a nice treat. Same thing with pizza. Over the last year, I have had pizza twice. And pizza is my favorite thing in the world. This is not easy. It is not easy. But now, breaking those addictive behaviors, breaking those unhealthy and irresponsible relationships with this food, I can appreciate it a lot more. Now, when I go visit somebody, I can have some pizza, and it is absolutely delicious, and I appreciate it more. Now, when it's my birthday or it's New Year's, I can get a piece of cake. And it's delicious, and my mind is blown. Oh my God, has anything ever been this delicious before? Yes, it has always been that delicious. You are just not being an indulgent teenager. You are being responsible and having respect for yourself. That was the biggest change, the biggest shift. Changing my relationship with food, moderating what I eat, and monitoring what I eat. I also changed what I buy at the grocery store. I don't buy a bunch of crap anymore. I don't buy rolled tacos. I love them. They are so delicious. They are so easy to make. They are not healthy. If I go out and I go to Chipotle, I don't need a bag of chips. I don't need it. Would I love it? Yes. They're delicious. I'm not going to get them though. If I go get a burger, I'm not going to get a pound of fries on the side. I'm not going to get a big old soda. So I have changed my entire relationship with food. As far as consuming liquids, I don't really drink sodas anymore. I will very rarely get an energy drink, and it is only if I am driving a lot and I am desperate to stay awake, because if I don't, I will die. The only real liquids that I consume, water and coffee. And I am not talking, as my voice cracks, I am not talking going to Starbucks and getting a $7 cup of milk with sugar with a splash of coffee in it. I make coffee at home, and it costs me, 50 cents a day? But I will get coffee, I will put a tablespoon of whole milk, and then a teaspoon, I think it is, of stevia. That's my coffee, and it's freaking awesome. It's amazing. But not only have I reassessed all of the food and the beverages that I consume, and now when I do enjoy a nice pizza, when I enjoy a piece of cake, when I have a diet root beer or some popcorn, it is special and it is delicious. Not only that, but I increased how much I was exercising, how much I was walking. Because I would lose weight, because I made these changes to my diet, but then I would plateau, and I needed to increase what I was doing. That's not really why I did it. I was competing with somebody on my Apple Watch, and I was doing 2 miles a day, pretty head-to-head even with the competition. Then they decided one day, I'm going to ride my bike for 16 miles or something, and they whooped my butt. And I said, nope, I am not okay with losing. I do not accept the terms of this engagement. I reject this option of losing to you. So I upped how much I was walking from 2 miles to 4 miles. 2 miles in the morning, 2 miles after work. But then they whooped my butt again. And I said, no, screw you. So now in the morning, I walk 3 miles, and then after work, I walk 3 miles. So I am now walking 6 miles a day. It is stupid. It takes too much time. Just sheerly on the time, I am going to have to start jogging. I'm going to have to, because I don't have an hour and 15 minutes, an hour and a half to spend walking every day, but it is kind of nice. I can listen to some albums, I can listen to some podcasts, I can listen to some audiobooks. It is a really nice getaway. Until you have to start jumping over needles, then you kind of get dragged back down to reality. But you're still outside, you're still getting a little bit of sun. It's still nice to breathe some relatively fresh air. And then you have to listen to really loud motorcycles. Shut up, I want to punch you in the face. You're a terrible person. I don't know that. Maybe they give to charity. I was arguing with somebody, this is totally off topic. Last night in the podcast's Discord voice call, somebody was saying, I hate ICP so much. And then I pulled up an article that said, why you should not hate ICP. I server muted that person and read the article to them, so they had to listen to why ICP is great. One of the reasons, they do a lot for charity. There you go. So maybe I think that person's a terrible person, but perhaps they give a lot to charity. What was I even talking about? I don't know what I was talking about. Okay, I guess that's the end of that. I have nothing else to say because I don't know where we were. I don't know what I was saying. It's nice to get away from stuff. Yep. Okay. That's it. I think there was something else I wanted to say, but we're not going to get there. Hi, it's Future Editing Bandrew here, and I did remember what I was going to say. It only took about an hour and a half. Thank goodness I didn't wait. Nothing that I've discussed here is groundbreaking. Nothing here is a surprise. I am pretty sure that everybody understands if you eat healthier, if you work out more, if you burn more calories than you consume, your weight will decrease. This is no magical formula. It's not as though I have a magic bullet. Is that a thing? I don't have a magic elixir. It is just trying to be more responsible. I don't know if that is worth adding in, but that is what I was trying to remember that I wanted to say. This is no surprise. People know this. I knew this. I just didn't do it. Because eating pizza is so delicious. Because sitting on your butt and watching X-Files is so much fun. But just like with my videos, where I make the decision, even though I don't want to record, I'm going to. Over the last year and a half, I have said, even though I don't want to walk, I am going to. And now I kind of enjoy it because it is an excuse to listen to audio. It's an excuse to listen to music, podcasts, audiobooks. It's no surprise. It's no magic formula. Everybody knows this, and I just finally said, okay, quit being a lazy, disrespectful of your body bum and do something about it. So that's what, maybe I won't include this, maybe I will.